I was lying in the dark when I heard it. A child's whisper, clear as day, saying, "They're coming." But I was alone in the room, or so I thought. Welcome to Friday 13, where every nightmare is real, and this one's mine. I am Ethan, and this happened to me on October 13th, 2019, in the Villisca Axe Murder House in Iowa. Stay with me, because what I heard that night, it's still out there, waiting for someone new to listen. It was October 12th, 2019. I was 25, a freelance photographer with a taste for the paranormal. My friends Jake and Sarah were skeptics, but up for a thrill, so we decided to spend a night in the Villisca Axe Murder House, site of one of America's most brutal unsolved murders. In 1912, the Moore family and 2 guests were axed to death in their beds. No one was ever convicted, and the house, it's been haunted ever since. We knew the stories, whispers, shadows, even full apparitions. I was excited, maybe a little scared, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened. We arrived in the afternoon, set up our gear, cameras, voice recorders, sleeping bags in the kids' room. The house smelled of dust and decay, the air thick with history. We joked about ghosts, but as the sun set, the mood shifted. The silence was heavy, like the house was holding its breath. I told myself it was just nerves, but deep down, I felt it, a prickle at the back of my neck, like we weren't alone. We settled in around 11 p.m. Jake and Sarah were in the parents' room. I was alone in the kids' room, where the Moore children were killed. I was half asleep when I heard it, a faint whisper, like a child's voice. "They're coming." My eyes snapped open. The room was empty, the door closed. I told myself it was the wind, but my hands shook as I grabbed my flashlight. I crept to the door, listened, silence. Then, a giggle, soft, playful, right behind me. I spun around, nothing. My heart pounded. Was it a prank? I called out, "Jake, Sarah," no answer. The house was dead quiet. I tried to laugh it off, but the unease lingered. I lay back down, eyes wide, listening. That's when I heard it again. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, coming up the stairs. My blood ran cold. I grabbed my phone, started recording. The footsteps stopped at the door. I held my breath. Then, a knock, 3 slow taps. I whispered, "Who's there?" No answer. I opened the door. Nothing, just the dark hallway. But the air, it was freezing, like stepping into a freezer. I told myself it was nothing, but my hands shook every time I heard that creak. The next morning, we reviewed the footage. Jake and Sarah had heard nothing, slept through the night. But my recording, it caught it. At 12,300,300,137 hours, a child's voice. "They're coming." Then, footsteps, clear as day, and the knock, 3 distinct taps. My stomach dropped. We explored the house, looking for clues. In the attic, we found it, an old trunk, padlocked shut. I pried it open, and inside, children's toys, faded photos of the Moore family, and a journal, dated 1912. I opened it, and my heart stopped. The last entry, "They're coming for us." My throat tightened. Was this a warning, or something worse? Have you ever felt like you weren't alone, even when you knew you were? That's when I noticed it. The air turned damp, sour, like something rotting in the walls. I looked up, and there it was, a shadow, tall and thin, standing in the doorway. Its eyes gleamed, black and endless. I blinked. It was gone. But the whispers, they were back, louder, clearer. "Ethan, run," I told Jake and Sarah, but they didn't hear it. I was the only one. The second night was worse. I couldn't sleep, kept hearing whispers, children's voices, laughing, crying, calling my name. I recorded everything, but the voices, they were inside my head now, relentless. At 3 a.m., the knocking started again, louder, more insistent. I grabbed my flashlight, crept to the door. It was locked, but the handle rattled, like someone was trying to get in. I shouted, "Who's there?" The rattling stopped. Then, a voice, low, guttural, "You shouldn't have come." My blood froze. I backed away, but the door, it creaked open on its own. The hallway was empty, but the air, it's thick, with the smell of blood and decay. I knew then, we weren't alone. Have you ever heard something unexplainable in your house? That's when I saw it. A child's handprint on the window, smudged and faint. My heart stopped. We were on the second floor. No one could have left that. I showed Jake and Sarah. They went pale. We decided to leave, but the car wouldn't start. The battery was dead, drained overnight. Panic set in. We were trapped. We stayed together in the living room, waiting for dawn. But at midnight, the voices came, loud, clear, speaking in unison. They're here. The temperature plummeted. The lights flickered, died. I grabbed my flashlight, but it wouldn't turn on. Then, footsteps, heavy, deliberate, coming up the stairs. My heart pounded. I whispered, "It's them." Jake grabbed a fireplace poker. Sarah clutched her phone. The footsteps stopped at the door. Then, the knocking. Boom, boom, boom. The door shook with each hit. I screamed, "Leave us alone." The knocking stopped. Then, a whisper, right beside me. Too late. I turned, and there it was, the shadow, inches from my face, its eyes gleaming. I screamed, and everything went black. Close quote. I woke up outside, sprawled in the yard, the house looming behind me. Jake and Sarah were beside me, unconscious but alive. The car started on the first try. We drove straight to a hotel, didn't look back, but the whispers, they follow me. I hear them in my dreams, in the silence. They're coming. This was real. October 13th, 2019, Villisca, Iowa. So, next time you hear a whisper in the dark, ask yourself, who's really there? That's my story. Every detail real, every fear still with me. If you've experienced something unexplainable, drop it in the comments. I'll read every one. And if this terrified you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your own true horror story in the comments. Or join our Discord server to share your true story. Link in the bio. We'll feature the scariest ones in our next video. And yours might be next. This is Friday 13, signing off. But remember, the shadows are always listening.